don't want what we know out there.
How a person can go from really almost nothing to becoming a millionaire by owning rental properties.
He would always buy these flip houses, and I just remember thinking, this guy is crazy. Why would he buy that house?
In the past decade, there's been a huge surge in the peer-to-peer short-term rental market.
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get the game.
Every second counts. So make every second count.
Welcome to the Real Estate Jam. Whether you're just beginning or the best of the best, we're glad you're here. We will share successes, failures, and strategies for the action-taking real estate investor. And now to your hosts, JD, Annabelle, and Melissa.
Hey guys, welcome to the Real Estate Jam podcast. I'm JD with my wonderful co-host.
Hello, me. Melissa. Hi, JD. How are you?
I'm doing great, bud. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's pouring rain, so sorry about the background.
Yeah, we got torrential downpours right now. Well, today we decided that we hadn't done a Facebook question podcast for a little while, so we went through some of the Facebook groups and pulled out a couple of questions that we saw some newer investors asking. So we're going to do our best to answer those and kind of have a little bit of a discussion about them. We're going to get to hear Melissa's wonderful thoughts, and we're going to get to hear my wonderful thoughts, and then maybe some of our thoughts will mingle together.
Awesome. I love that.
Melissa, you want to read the first one?
Yes, I do. Thank you. So the first question that we selected was, how do you scale leadwise? Meaning, do a little background on what that question really is asking.
So what I think that they're asking is how do I get more leads into the top of my funnel? And I think the remaining part of that question is, how do we generate more leads, right? And especially for the new investors, I'm not sure that this is the right question for most people. And this is also a question that we've had in our business many times. And with one of our mentoring sessions, where we were speaking to one of the leaders of our mastermind, they said to us, and I think this is probably true for most people, is how do you know that you have a lead problem, right? How do you know that not enough leads is the issue that you really need to contend with? And when they asked that question, we really had to go back and look at our business and see, okay, well, first, if you don't know your basic numbers, you're not going to know whether it's a lead problem or a conversion problem or a contract falling out problem. You don't know what those problems are without a real good grasp of your numbers. So the first thing I would tell this person really is, we need more information to be able to answer this question correctly. But how many leads are you getting, right? Are we talking like you're getting 5 or 6 leads a month? And then in that case, yeah, you definitely need more leads if you're going to find motivated sellers, right? But if you're getting a decent amount of leads, a decent amount of people calling in, or a decent amount of people saying that they had a house for sale in either text message or cold calling, then the real question is, what are you doing with those leads from that point forward? Is it really a you need more leads problem, or is it that you need to convert the leads that you have problem? And that's probably one of our biggest issues that we're solving currently is how do we take the leads that we're getting, that we're on par, we're bringing in leads at the same level as some of the best wholesalers in the country, but our conversion rate is low. So really, how do you increase your conversion rate? And really what this question is how do you diagnose the problem that you have and make sure that you're asking the right questions about your business so that you can ask the right questions to get help. Melissa, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like the part about the conversion, because we looked at it totally different before. About, we didn't think we were getting enough leads, right? Mm-hmm. But it was, we really just weren't converting what we had. And so I think that is where you have to really deep dive into it. Why?
Right. And I guess too, so maybe this person who asked this question really is converting at the appropriate amount. Maybe they really do have a lead problem. Maybe they're not getting that. And so, what do we do to get more leads, Melissa?
Well, from you mean marketing standpoint, or then going, well, we, of course we market. So we go direct to seller, right? Mm-hmm. Through postcards. And then we also do text messaging, which has been the most profitable for us in regards to
cost per lead,
yes.
conversions.
And then we do, we have cold callers as well. But going back to that, it's after we went to our last mastermind, we went back in and reworked all the leads that we had, right? Can you elaborate on how we did that?
Yeah. So also in addition to it not being a lead problem, we realized that because we're having all these leads and we need to go back in and reconvert them, that maybe you do have enough leads, you just haven't worked those leads as aggressively as you need to. So for us, the part of the lead conversion problem that we had was more about us being not as aggressive as we should be on our follow-up calls. So we re-implemented instead of, but so you go back into your CRM and you start looking, instead of calling each lead in our CRM once per day for a week or whatever, what we should do is take 100 leads and call them 5 times each throughout the day. And now we're not actually doing that. We have our VA team member doing that, but that is what it has gotten us to funnel down some of those leads into more serious conversations. Because, if you see the number come up on your phone one time, you might ignore it and let it go to voicemail or whatever. Maybe you call them back or maybe you don't. But if you see that number come up 5 times within the same day, then you're more likely to answer that. And really what we need, especially on the cold calling side, is people to answer that, have conversations, so that if they are looking to sell their house, they hear what our business can provide. And then that allows us to find a certain percentage of those to take to the next level and then have an actual chance of converting those leads into a contract.
Yeah, I really like that because we had not done that before about calling over and over again. And I think that really upped our contact.
Yeah, definitely upped our contact. And the other thing too is it helps you identify the leads in your system that are not real leads, the leads that you need to get out of there, put it in the dead lead pile or the do not contact, remove from list, so that way you have a smaller pool of leads to be working that follow-up system. So really, it's our job as business owners to put more leads into the funnel, right? And we do that through our different marketing channels. We do that through, for us, like Melissa said, text message, cold calling, direct mail, and stuff like that. And then it's our team's job to kick as many of those out. And so we should be equally happy with a lead that says, take me off your list and get me out of there, as we are with one that moves on to the next appointment. Because either way, we're whittling down those numbers. And as long as we have more leads coming in the top of the funnel, we can get rid of those ones and allow our team to focus more of their intention and their time on the ones that are profitable. If you call a lead 5 times a day for 30 days, I would much rather call them once and have them say, take me off the list. And then we don't have to spend that time. We can spend that time calling other leads. So it's not a bad thing to have somebody deny you. And I guess we're a little bit off track from the original question, but the answer is, how do you get more leads? You do more marketing, whether it's paid marketing or time. You're spending time or money on marketing for leads. And that's just the way it is. And then the real question you should be asking yourselves is, are you converting as many leads as you can from the leads that you're getting? And if you're doing both of those things, then you might want to look into expanding into either more marketing channels or spending more money in the marketing channels that you already have.
Thank you. That was great. Good word. Thank you.
Hoorah. Let me see. I'm going to read you the next one. I'll let you go at it, Melissa.
Oh gosh. So nervous.
Don't be nervous. You're fine.
I don't know what the question is and I'm nervous.
Okay. Well, you'll be fine. I'm sure you've answered this a million times and I'll jump in, obviously.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, I'll save you. Knight in shining armor. Okay. So the next question is, how do I wholesale rental properties for buy and hold investors? I've only learned the formula for fix and flip investors.
Also rental properties for buy and hold investors. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what that means, but what is the real question?
The real question is, do you do anything different when you're wholesaling properties specifically for a buy and hold buyers list versus a fix and flip buyers list, right? I think that's what it's, he's only learned, or she has only learned, how to evaluate properties based off of fix and flip criteria, not buy and hold criteria.
Oh, okay.
And how do we do it in our business and what do we look for?
Yeah. So there's two ways we do it. We either do it from a fix and flip or the buy and hold. And so the buy and hold was how much will it take to get it rent ready, right? Is that what the question's saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So there's two different sets of numbers that we run. Like when you're doing the comps on a rehab property, it's, how do you get it to that comp, right?
Yeah, after repair
value. But when you're doing it, just get it rent ready. What do I need to do? So what's the minimum I need to do to get somebody to move into this property, right? So like just flooring, we don't have to redo the bathrooms. We don't have to redo the kitchen, just do the minimum. So those are way different figures.
Yeah. And I think that fix and flip, we're looking at how do we make it comparable to the other fixed and flipped properties in that area. And I think you're doing the same thing for rental properties. So how do I get it into the condition that's equal to the other, or equal or slightly better than the other rental properties in that neighborhood? So if you're in Beverly Hills, you're probably going to have to upgrade it a lot more than you are if you are in some lower income, lower finish quality areas. So you wouldn't spend a bunch of money putting in marble countertops and tile bathrooms and marble flooring if everything else was Formica and stick down tiles and that kind of stuff. Right. So I think that's important. So the other thing that I think is that with fix and flip, there's the formula that everybody uses is that ARV, 70% of ARV minus repairs. And that's the fix and flip formula. And then you take away your wholesale costs. I think with buy and hold, you have to really have a better relationship with your investors, and you have to really understand their criteria, because some investors are buy and hold investors for cash flow. Some investors are buy and hold investors for internal rate of return. Some of them want the appreciation. Some of them look at it different ways. So I think when I'm specifically talking about rental property evaluation and wholesaling from that standpoint, that's where we do the reverse wholesaling, or the kingdom's version of wholesaling, where you go out and you find your buyer first, because each buyer is going to identify their criteria different each, and especially with buy and hold investors, because they each have either they're paying all cash or they have different financing abilities. So their interest rate on the money that they're using to purchase that property is going to have a dramatic effect on how much they can purchase that property for, and what's the rent, the monetary amount of rent that they're going to need to cover all of their expenses plus their mortgage, and then still have their cash flow. And because each person has a different financial profile, they're getting different interest rates. And because they're getting different interest rates, I think it's really important to dive into that specific investor's criteria and find properties specifically that meet them. You can be general with it, but if I was just starting out and maybe only doing one or two properties every so often, I would really niche down and find out that person's criteria, and then ask them if they would buy the house when I get it under contract.
Yeah, agree. Love
Great.
that.
Love it.
Love. All right, we only have time for one more.
One more. Okay, let's see here. Okay. You want to read that one and we'll answer it together?
Sure. How do you recover from having a rough day on the phones and no deals? How do you get over the disappointment and get back motivated? That's really hard, because some days we've had super bad days on the phones, absolutely. Right? But
not just on the phones, but just in business in general. I think it's the same.
And gone through desert parts where there's no deals being made whatsoever.
No contracts, no leads, no
appointments.
We've literally had 3 months with no deals, and that's really tough, especially when you're trying to run a business and pay your employees and do that. And that's super disappointing.
Yeah. And so when we had that this last time, we really went in like midway through that 3-month period and said, where did we lose motivation in here? Or momentum, not motivation, motivation too, because that comes with loss of momentum, and tried to replug into what were we doing right when we were getting deals back to back to back. Right.
Right. And really evaluating that. And I guess really when you're looking at like, how do you stay motivated? That comes in with like a lot of the deeper mindset stuff. Like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? Is there a reason? What changed? What made it go bad?
And well, one of the things that we talked about, I think one of our podcasts a few back, was that we had done that point system, and that really helped us keep momentum and keep motivated. Because we're competitive. And so we had gotten away from doing that. And so we went back to doing that because that kept us like recognizing what we were doing every day, setting appointments or getting a contract. And so I think that helped, meeting somebody, telling them what we do, that kind of thing.
Right. And so what that really means, what all the point system does was gave us something to be competitive about, to go through the motions of the things that we need to do. So if we're talking specifically about cold calling and having a rough day, what you need to know is that it's not the act of getting a seller on the phone that will talk to you that is what you're doing every day. That's not the income generating activity. Now, if you could only talk to sellers, that would be great. But really the act is going through that 500 or 700 phone calls where everybody says no, because every no is one step closer to the yes, because it's all just a numbers game. And so the more people you talk to and get that no from, the closer you get to your next yes. We never know when that yes is coming, but based off of the law of averages, and probability's sake, we know that one of those phone calls is going to be a yes. And then that yes is going to lead to an appointment, and that appointment's going to lead to a contract. That contract's going to lead to a wholesale deal or a fix and flip deal or a buy and hold deal that's going to put money into our pocket at the end of the day. And so focusing on the process instead of the outcome, I think helps me stay motivated, making sure that I'm doing the best I can on the things that I'm responsible for, and then rewarding myself or our team for doing the things that we need to do. So, having our point system challenge between me and you, and now our other assistant, Bree, really makes that part of it fun, right? So if I set the more appointments, or if I go on more appointments, or I make more offers, not only is there the chance that I'm winning that,
he's not winning,
that I'm winning that engagement with the lead, but I'm also destroying my team in the competition.
Not happening.
And I think that helps a lot.
Sure, I agree. Yeah,
staying focused and really, if cold calling is not the thing that you want to be doing, it's super easy to hire out. Yeah. Not super easy to hire out, I guess, but it costs very little to hire a virtual assistant to do that for you. And if you're just starting out, you need practice doing those calls. But if you're already losing motivation with those calls, it's probably not the highest and best use of your time. So if you can find somebody else to do it for you, that is what they like to do, then you're going to be better off.
Yeah. Well, we need to wind up. I'm sorry. It's already been 20.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that some of those answers help some of you guys. I'm really excited with the direction our business is going with some of those insights. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for your time, Melissa.
Thank you, Katie. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Jam. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information, check out our website, therealestatejam.com, or find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Real Estate Jam. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email at therealestatejam@gmail.com. See you next episode.